How would you explain this to a child?
Actually, for children, it's really easy to understand because they are very much still in their magical thinking. So for them, it's a lot easier to just be open that they can feel and see a lot of stuff. I actually believe, or I know that a lot of kids between 1 and 7-year-old, they have a lot of magical experiences and they are very open to seeing and experiencing energy. So for them, we as grown-ups will talk to them like, no, you don't know that. No, that's just fantasy. Or, a lot of kids have fantasy friends, which might just be them seeing other dimensional energies or presences. And then we teach them that it's not real, and then they want to, be in our reality and they shut off those abilities. I think the hardest thing is not to explain to a child what we're doing in this work, but more what we explain to the cognitive mind. What are we doing? And the thing that we're starting to understand now more, I try to be careful with science. I'm not a scientist. I like to read a lot into modern science. But I realize that whenever you say science says, everybody believes what you say. So just keep an open mind. What we're starting to understand more is that the essence of life, the essence of everything we see is energy. It's just the motion of energy, electromagnetic energy and energy waves. So when we see with our human eyes, we see electromagnetic waves of energy, and our brain translates that in a bracelet, a t-shirt, ing. But really it's atoms and molecules just moving in space. So when we start to work with ourselves and start to understand that we are not just matter, but we are actually a form of energy, then what forms of energy do we have? We have matter, liquid, gas, and plasma, which we don't work so much with. But that's all the space in between. And when we start to work with energy, we actually work with frequency, like sound waves. When you have a sound bowl, I have one here, that's convenient. When you have a sound bowl, it makes total sense that there's a sound wave coming from this because you can hear it, and as I'm holding this, you can feel it. But when we work with frequencies that go beyond what the ear can hear or what the human eyes can see, we have to use a little bit of magical thinking that we can bring energy in motion and it can start to vibrate, like our ears can vibrate with energy, but now our whole system can vibrate with it. So in a session, we're actually all just going into surrender, into a state of relaxation,